Alright, let's continue factoring our polynomials. So as always, pause the video for each example and try them on your own. But for this one, what we're going to do is, since all of the terms are even, we can factor out a2, and all of the terms also have an m, so I'm going to factor out an m as well. So once I take out a 2m, it's going to be 9m squared plus 6mn plus n squared. And that's because we basically have taken out one of the m's and we put it in brackets. And then now to factor this, I'm going to put 2m on the outside, and then we know we need two brackets, and we have to get 9m squared. So one of the ways we could do that is going to be 3m times 3m. And we also have to figure out how to get n squared. So the only way you're going to get that is if you have like an n squared and like an n times an n. And we know the middle term is positive 6. So therefore, we would want to pick positive n and positive n to get this. Because remember, we're looking for the outer term multiplied by the outer term, so 3m n, and then add the inner term and the multiplied by the inner term to get another 3m, and that, if you do this correctly, should give you the middle term, so 6mn. So therefore, the answer is correct. Okay, give this one a try. So that we basically have 20 times m squared minus 5 times n squared. And it doesn't really matter if we put the square on the inside or not for this one. So yeah, and if we get rid of the brackets, just to make it cleaner, we just have to figure out how to get that. So with 20 and 5, we can take out a 5, and we'll get 4m squared minus n squared. And then this minus n squared is basically minus 1n squared, and that's going to be like the difference of squares factoring. So like minus 1 times plus 1 is like multiplied by plus 1 is minus 1. So we know that to get the 4m squared and a minus 1n squared, we would have to have 5 on the outside, 2 brackets. One bracket should have an m plus 1, and the other bracket should have a 2m minus 1. And when we check, our outermost times our outermost, and our innermost times the innermost. And if you want to verify, you can always FOIL these out. You will get basically 0, because it'll be 2 minus 2m and then plus 2m. So then those cancel out. Plus. And this should just be like plus n and minus n. Okay, so that's how we do that one. And then the last step now is to just substitute the m and the n back in. So when we do that, it's going to be like 5 times 2, and then 2x plus y, close, and then plus x minus 2y times 2x plus y, and I'm just going to make this smaller. But yeah, that's the idea basically. We just want to put m and n back into the equation, and we'll get like minus x minus 2y. And then basically once we simplify and FOIL everything together, we're going to have like a 5 times 5x, and then 3x plus 4y, which can be simplified to 25x times 3x plus 4y. And that's basically how we do that one. Make sure you distribute this into both of them, and then kind of make everything properly distributed. And yeah, try those. And then now let's try doing one more. So for this one, what I am going to do is I'm going to say 2x minus 5y is equal to m. So I'm just going to replace that to make it simple. And then it's just, from there, it's just m squared plus 5m plus 6, which is pretty simple to factor because we can just make two brackets, m in each, find two numbers that are multiplying to get to plus 6, and adding to get to the middle term, 5. So we know the factors of 6 are 1 and 6, or 3 and 2. So then therefore, since to get 5, 3 plus 2 is 5, so it's going to be plus 2 plus 3. And then the last step is to just substitute it back in, so 2x minus 5y plus 2, and then again, so being like all together, and then times by 2x minus 5, like plus 3, and we can open the bracket, plus 3, and then that's basically our answer for that one. Perfect, so I hope that's helpful. Keep practicing your factoring.